Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating evolution of GIFs, or rather, their modern replacements. The article, How to GIF, 2025 edition, completely rethinks how we approach short looping animations on the web. It's a real game changer.
I'm eager to hear this. So, GIFs are out, right? What's the hot new thing for creating those short looping animations we all love?
Well, it's not quite that simple. The article highlights several strong contenders, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. AVIF, for instance, is incredibly promising, based on the AV1 video codec. It boasts lossless and lossy compression, HDR, wide color gamut, transparency, and animation. It's like the Swiss Army knife of image formats.
Sounds amazing. But are there any downsides? Nothing's perfect, right?
You're right, nothing's perfect. While browser support is excellent, Safari still has some frame rate performance issues with animated AVIF. It's not a deal breaker, but something to keep in mind. And there's also WebP, which is a significant improvement over GIFs and animated PNGs, offering smaller file sizes. Browser support is universal and has been around longer than AVIF animation support.
Okay, so WebP is a solid alternative. What about JPEG-XL? I've heard whispers about that one.
JPEG-XL is interesting, but its support is still patchy. Safari supports it for still images, but not animated ones. Chrome, Edge, and Firefox currently lack support, although Firefox might add it later this year. Plus, even its creator admits that for animation, it can't compete with video codecs like AV1.
So video codecs are the real powerhouses here? I see.
Absolutely. The Element offers incredible flexibility. You can have any size and aspect ratio, and you can even display it without any controls. Plus, media queries are now fully supported for videos, allowing for responsive design based on screen size or orientation, something that used to be a unique advantage of image formats.
That's a huge win for video. But what about transparency? That's a big deal for many animations.
Transparency is a tricky one. A V1 doesn't support it. Animated AVIF with transparency has performance problems, especially in Safari. Safari supports HEVC with transparency, but Chrome doesn't, and vice versa for VP9. It's a real mess. Animated WebP seems to be the most reliable option for transparency across browsers.
Wow, it sounds like a real balancing act, choosing the right format. So what's the overall recommendation then?
Well, there isn't one single best format. It depends on your priorities. AVIF is great if you need high quality and wide browser support, but be aware of Safari's performance quirks. WebP is a safe bet for smaller file sizes and universal support. And video is the most flexible option, especially if you don't need transparency. For AV1 video, you'll need to provide a fallback for older Apple devices, which is a bit of extra work.
So it's all about weighing the pros and cons for each specific project. Makes sense. What about the GIFs are cringe statement? Is that really true?
That's a bold claim. While Jiffy's statement about GIFs falling out of favor with younger generations is interesting, it's not necessarily the whole story. The article argues that looping videos can be used in far more creative ways than just simple chat reactions. The potential for using them in UI design, for example, is huge.
Interesting point. So, the future of looping animations isn't about one single winner, but rather a smart choice based on the specific needs of each project. Thanks for clarifying all this.
My pleasure. And that's a wrap for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.